and task, but
Yeah.
it's sitting there thinking.
Yeah.
Well, this is command. We'll just kind of go through the basics here. And you said you had just logged in one time, so
Yeah.
we will definitely start from the ground up.
Okay.
A lot of people think that command is just a CRM. When they talk about CRM, they're really talking about their contact management. It's actually, in your contact database. The program is actually a lot more than that. And I've been really impressed since I've been at Keller Williams with everything they can do. Of course, your contact database is part of that. Maintaining your contacts and your relationships and your rapport with your clients is always going to be the goal of a real estate agent. But what they've done at KW with Command is they have now integrated all of your due diligence paperwork that you need to do. You'll be able to track all your deals, whether it's a buyer, seller, lease, etc., and then all of your marketing and even your social media. You can actually set up through Command as well. It's kind of nice because you can actually set up an automated social media calendar. So if you've got an hour or so on the weekend with nothing to do and you want to, just have some tea or coffee and sit there for an hour and kind of, make a few posts and schedule them for the day, you can literally schedule your entire week out and be done with it, not have to worry about social media during the week, which is probably when you want to be, connecting with your clients instead. So,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
other things. So yeah, it's really kind of nice how they've integrated everything in here. So it's kind of a full service real estate suite rather than just a contact database. So let's go ahead and we can start off on the basics. Is it Priyanka or Priyanka?
Priyanka.
Priyanka? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I always like to ask and make
Oh,
sure
you were right.
I pronounce everybody's name right.
Yeah.
Over on the right-hand side there where you see your headshot photo, if
Yeah.
you click on that, a little menu will pop up. And we're going to go down to the settings area.
Okay.
And a couple of different areas that we're gonna look at here. If you're brand new, Priyanka, have you actually created a Facebook page yet for yourself?
Yeah.
As a
No, not
free,
yet.
not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
So at some point in time, it looks like you are connected to DocuSign, so that's good. Where you do all
Yeah.
your signatures and your paperwork and whatnot.
Mm.
But some of the other things, when you do get your Facebook account set up, you'll see there it's got social for Facebook and to Twitter. Both of those connect directly into Command, and for Command we can do social media posts to Facebook and Twitter, and we can also do paid advertisements on both Facebook and Twitter as well, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
The Facebook ads are nice because that can actually, from your ads, garnish you contacts, which Command automatically captures for you anymore. It's not like you have to run an advertisement and then see who got it and then enter a bunch of names in your database. So it kind of automates that process. It makes it easier for you as well.
Okay.
And if you scroll down, you'll see there's other apps that you can connect to here. Your Google Calendar, your Gmail, and then down below, like under marketing automation. Yeah, there you go. There's the ads managers for Twitter and Facebook, Command, email, MailChimp, and Twilio, which is the texting service that we use. What we want to take a look at right now, let's go to, you've got all the different settings over on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Bianca, if you go to the third one down, it says connect settings and click on that. That's going to be your marketing profile. We definitely want to go here and make sure this is all set up. Looks like you've got your headshot photo here. The basics on the marketing profile is anytime that you do, whether it's a Facebook post or a Facebook ad, or you do a social media post, or you create your, eventually we're going to want to make your agent website and maybe a landing page, for a just listed or a coming soon listing, or maybe even an open house sign up sheet or something like that. What Command will do is it'll take all of your basic information from here in your marketing profile and then automatically fill in that information as you create the web pages and the social media posts or the ads and whatnot. So it's kind of nice to have everything in here already. And then that way, each time you do an ad or each time you do a post or create a design, you don't have to fill all that information in every single time, which is a good time saver. So are you an individual agent, Priyanka, or are you on a team?
Individual agent.
Individual. Okay. So we don't have to worry about a team logo. Maybe later down the road, we'll worry about that.
Yeah.
But if you slowly scroll down there, everything with the little red asterisk next to it is going to be a required field. And it looks like you've got some of your stuff in here already. So you've got your name and everything. License number is good. It's got a bio area down there. So at some point in time, you might want to go ahead and personalize that.
Yeah.
That's actually, I believe it's up to a couple thousand characters. So it can be, you see, it's pretty descriptive. So don't worry if what you put in is too long. If it goes over the amount of characters it's allowed, it'll tell you how many you need to, shave off of that.
Okay.
Looks like you've got your phone number information in there. That's good. Market center information. Do you have the KW Consultants logo yet, Priyanka?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna just give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna email that to you right now, and let's go ahead and get that loaded now, and then you don't have to worry about that in the future.
Okay.
At some point in time, we'll be sharing with you and the agents all of the different logos, because there's different versions for printing, higher quality, low resolution ones for the web, etc. But let me go ahead and email you right now. Get into our email. And then again, that's just one less thing that we need to do in the future. Logo. And there we go. And now let me just go find it. Should have my folder right. Yep, there it is. I always keep that one handy right on my desktop because so many people ask for it.
Okay.
Okay, I just emailed that to your KW email.
All right.
So when you get it, go ahead and you can download it to your hard drive, and then we'll upload it here, and you should be good to go.
Okay. Is that what's uploaded?
I sent it to your KW email, so you might have to check your
Yeah.
Gmail.
I downloaded that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then go ahead and click on the upload button there on the left.
Did that.
And
Desktop.
looks like it's hung up there. Might need to try and refresh your screen.
Okay.
See if that helps it out. Command gets stuck sometimes.
It's the same
Yep.
old.
Yep. Just hit that upload button again. Looks like it's thinking about it, and it just pops right back, doesn't it?
It's the same thing.
Are you using Chrome?
Yeah.
For your web browser?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure, because that's the one that Command works best in. I'm not sure what's doing that, but you've got the logo now, though, correct?
Right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Maybe sometime, like after you do a reboot or something like that, and your computer's fresh, maybe try it again. You've got it, so you can put it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then if you go ahead and scroll down, let's see what else we got down here. I believe this is your legal footer text. That is optional, but sometimes when you start making web pages, people like to put that on there. Your social media links, you're going to want to fill these in, especially again once you get your Facebook agent site up and running, your LinkedIn professional profile, etc. I always tell everybody, if they always ask, should they leave those blank if they're not on those social media channels?
Mm-hmm.
And what I tell everybody is it's always good for you to look like you have a good social media presence across all channels. So even if you personally don't have one, that's fine. I would maybe put the KW Consultants one, like on the Instagram, or if you don't have a YouTube channel or a Twitter. I personally don't do Twitter anymore. I was at CV Richard Ellis for 17 years. I ran their Twitter account for about 12 years. So I think I'm just all tweeted out after doing that.
Oh, okay.
So that's just my personal preference, is not to do Twitter anymore.
Okay.
But I know on mine that I've got the KW Twitter account on that. And if you ever need any of those, just let myself or Angela know. We can get you the links for those.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
And let's see, the pixel, the Facebook pixel on ads and the Google Analytics, we won't worry about those. Those will
Yep.
come into play when you actually start doing some ads later on. But you do have your branded KW app as well, your link down there, which is good. Did anybody tell you about that yet?
No.
Okay, the KW app, that you're going to want to download that at some point in time. That is literally our consumer facing app that we created literally to directly compete with things like Zillow
mm,
and some of the other real estate apps that are out there. The nice thing about having a branded app, and this might be one of the email campaigns we want to help you set up maybe here in the near future once you're up and running a little bit,
mhm,
to introduce yourself to your contacts and ask them to download your branded app. And what happens is when they download your branded app and they sign into that, you can actually get notifications. If you look up here in command next to your headshot photo where we click for the menu,
yeah.
that little bell, that's all your notifications right there. So right now, if say I downloaded your version of the app and I went and searched for a house, $200,000 to $300,000 in Hilliard and save that, you would actually get a notice there saying, hey, David Satterfield saved this house, or David Satterfield searching in this area. So it's kind of nice to see what your clients are doing, but not only your clients that you've got a pre-existing relationship with, but maybe even some of those people that you connected with via your Facebook ads or
Mm,
other things, open houses as well. So
okay.
that's what the branded app does for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I get that.
So we'll just kind of go through some of the basics here on command. If you go over to your all the little buttons over on the left-hand side, those are your navigation buttons. They call them applets in here. So if you ever hear anybody talking about an applet, oh, you know what? Did we make any changes? You might have to scroll down and hit save.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
you
hit
did?
save.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the screen lagged, so I saw the little notice pop up, and I wanted to make sure we didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
You're on top of it. Okay. So those are called applets over there on the left-hand side. They're just your navigation buttons like anywhere else. So we'll just start up on the very top, Priyanka, and work our way down. So if you click on the home screen,
Okay.
you can, when you come to the home screen, it's got a default view here. The playbook over there is just, some KW news. They put a lot of success stories over there on the left-hand side. It's good to come in here sometimes and check out some of the videos for people that are doing things successfully, how they're using command to make their business successful, etc. And they post a lot of that stuff either to the KW YouTube channel or KW Connect, which is where we have a lot of our marketing materials through corporate as well. If you scroll down a little bit, you've got your goals versus your actuals. Obviously, you don't have any listings in here yet, but when you do, this is going to track your financials and your goals. What you have leads on, appointments, what's under contract, your closed units. For those people that are just finishing out 2020, they would have a nice report at the end of the year for your final sales and everything, or your final deals. But also, a lot of people are coming in here and they will create customized goals for 2021. Jen Vickers, who is our tech director down in Kentucky for our team, she did a class literally earlier today, right before you and I got on the call,
Oh,
about setting up goals for 2021, and she'll be repeating those as well. So those are always good things to get in and find out,
sure.
so you can personalize your goals for the year as well. And Command will help you track all that, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the right there, you'll see some design updates. This one's near and dear to my heart. Being a marketing guy, I always like to keep in mind two things. As a tech trainer, the product updates on the lower right, but then the design updates as well. What's the latest and the greatest? We had a lot of people reaching out over, from October basically to December, saying, hey, how do I do Christmas cards through Command? How do I do, Hanukkah cards or just happy holidays? Happy New Year, things like that. That's a great way to touch base with your clients as well. And then down on the lower left there, you'll see your database health database. I sound like I have a list. Database. This is what happens when you talk all day on Tech Talk.
I know, yeah.
And you drink a lot of water, trust me.
Yeah.
Your database health comparison. And what it's doing is it's taking a look at your contacts that you have in your contact database, which, we'll get to either have you start entering those or import your contacts. But it takes a look at a few different metrics and tells you what it considers a good health score on your database. So you'll see that the things that it's looking at right now, do you have phone numbers? Do you have email addresses? Do you have actual addresses? And then one of the other things that Command does is, as long as you've gone in and assigned them to a specific neighborhood, which is normally a suburb, you look at Hilliard or Dublin or Westerville, but it can break it down even more than that. I know within Hilliard, you've got the Hilliard Rome area. There's Old Hilliard, things like that. So it can go even further into that. The neighborhoods are great to assign to your contacts, because then Command can automatically create marketing tools for you to share with them, such as neighborhood touches. It's a good statistics email, kind of, here's the trends that are going on in the Hilliard Rome area. It's got some videos that you can create very easily by just assigning it to a neighborhood, and it auto populates all that data into a very professional looking video. So you look like you're putting out awesome videos, but in the background, you're just kind of plugging in the information and getting it out to everybody. But that's one of the things you can do in Command as well. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of the home screen. If you scroll back up to the button, I always like to show everybody, or scroll back up to the top, sorry. There is a customize home button up there on the top right.
Yep.
You can go in here and you can customize. You'll see all the different things that are over on the right-hand side. If there's things that you don't want on there, you can always remove the check marks over on the left-hand side. Or like I mentioned, I want the product updates and the design updates up on the top for me as a tech trainer and a marketing guy. So if you ever wanted to go in here, you would just grab those little portions around and move them to the top or to the right or to the left. You could always redesign this area literally based on what you were doing. I know a lot of agents, they like putting their goals versus actuals up at the top, or even their database health scores as well are good ones for you guys. Like right when you come into Command, how's my database doing? How's my business doing? So that's an option that you have for you as well. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So that's kind of the home screen, pretty basic. If you go down to the next applet over there on the navigation menu, you've got your contacts, and we'll spend a little bit of time here. There's a couple different ways to add your contacts. One, you can always come in here and manually add them. And just to give you a little bit of practice, we're going to actually have you add 2 contacts right now, which is what I have everybody do while we're in here. So if you click on that add contact button, we're going to add you first. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, so that you can actually have some contacts in here. But the other thing is, make sure you use your personal email and not your Keller Williams email on this one, Priyanka. This one is for when you actually get into creating your marketing pieces or your social posts or your email campaigns, even your web pages. You can actually send yourself a test email to see how they look. Make sure that they're formatted properly or graphically. So this is always nice for you to have your own information there. I always recommend that people do it with their personal one because sometimes your personal emails have different settings than your professional accounts as well.
Right. Okay.
And so if you just add the basics in there, but while we're in here, let's look at some other stuff. If you look where you put your name, there's an add relationship button underneath that, or an option, that plus sign as well. If you click on that, this is always nice because like my database, I use a lot of, I'm not an agent, so I use a lot of fictional characters, so, I've got like Fred Flintstone and Wilma Flintstone in there, for fictitious characters. But when you come in here and you have a family, rather than putting them both under the same contact card, it's good sometimes to have the husband and the wife as separate contacts, but you can add the relationship that's in there as well. And just like, you just did, when you pull down that menu, you're going to see there's a whole bunch of different options. Could be a business partner, could be an actual relation, mother, father, partner, etc., sibling. So those are good to add in there as well.
Okay.
Excuse me. And you can always remove a relationship as well. Some houses, I hate to say, but there is a market for divorce houses out there as well. So you might want to split those contacts up sometimes, unfortunately. Down below, you have your phone number, which you've got in there. You do have multiple options for both email and phone number. I believe there's a personal email, a business email, and another email over there on the left. There you go. And then same thing for the phone. You've got your mobile number, your work number, home number, cell number, etc. as well. So you can have multiple numbers in there. If you have a lead source on there, you can always select them from a list if you've created one, or you can select from your contacts once you get your contacts in there. Or down below that, you can mark them as a lead or even add them to your sales pipeline as well. The tags are a great thing to show up. This is almost like hashtags when you're on social media. Command's got a bunch of stuff in there already. Oh, and don't worry about what you're seeing right now. There's a glitch going around
Oh,
right
okay.
now. I just saw this come out yesterday
Oh,
in our tech talk, because you're going to see she says they love so and so.
yeah.
Yeah. So for some reason, it's pulling in stuff from other areas. They don't know why. They're trying to fix it right now.
Okay.
But normally, this would be things like you could literally mark somebody as a buyer or a seller, homeowner, etc. All kinds of different categories. They have pre-made ones that are in there. Yeah, there you go. Agent,
Mm.
buyer. You can see some of them amidst the rest of that nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
But you can actually create your own custom ones as well. There may be, I know Jen Vickers, our tech trainer I mentioned. I'm a Navy veteran, and she has a lot of military veterans in her family. So at some point in time, you might want to do a Veterans Day email out to everybody and say, thank you for your service, kind of thing. Or let's say that you have pet owners, and how they have like National Pets Day or National Dogs Day or cats or
Yeah.
something. You could put in pet, or even be as specific as dog, cat, etc. You may want to send out some information about people doing remodeling. So if you know somebody that you put a deck tag on there, or people that have fire pits, or people that have swimming pools. You could be as broad or as detailed on these as you want to. But this is great later on, not only when you get multiple contacts in there. A lot of agents, your database will get up to the hundreds or even thousands or tens of thousands. Some of the bigger teams. So one, it helps you to search for a very niche group. But the other thing is later on when you do your marketing pieces, you
Mm.
can, use the tags and just send them to a select group or groups as well. So that's what the tags are for, and that's kind of a cool too.
Yeah, that's really
Cool
cool.
too. And then that additional information, there's 3 areas there. Again, it just gives you more options for additional emails, etc. If you look at the about, it's got some descriptions. The birthdays are nice. The home anniversary ones are great to have as well. That's one that we always encourage everybody to put in when you close the deal, because one of the things that we do on a regular basis as a marketing thing is to send out a happy home birthday or happy home
Oh,
anniversary email to everybody as well. We'll talk about smart planes later, but you can actually automate that process as well. So as
okay.
long as that home anniversary is in there, you can actually have, as long as you've created an email in design, then you can have command just automatically send it out to everybody, and it'll literally say happy 4th, home anniversary, happy whatever. And
Oh,
you can either do that as one that's pre-set up, or you can do it individually and personalized every time. But it is kind of nice to be able to automate that. So
right. Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool, all the stuff you can do here. And then down under custom, that's where like you've got the add custom field. That's where you could add things like I mentioned before, like pets, or just other things that you want to, pet name, if you want to do that, if you want to get that specific, and say, hey, how's Trixie doing, or etc. So
Mm. Okay.
all kind of stuff in there that you can do. So
Okay.
but for now, go ahead and create that contact. That should be the one that was you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say that command, it does have a minimum requirement. You do have to put in a name, and I believe it's either an email or a phone number. You don't necessarily have to have both, because that's
Okay.
part of the health score is it'll tell you like, hey, you're missing phone numbers in this area. But let's go
Mm.
ahead and do a second contact, and I'm going to have you put me in there as well. That's the other one that I always have everybody do, because
Okay.
again, when you get back to making that marketing information, at some point in time, rather than send the test email to yourself, you might do that,
Mm.
and the formatting may be way off. And just a quick, easy way to do something, to reach out to me, is to send that test email to David and say, hey, I have this. For some reason, the formatting's, looking wonky. We can either call or email, or you can set up a one-on-one with me. But that way you can set it to me, and I can see what's going on there. So
Sure.
last name is Satterfield. It's a S-A, 2 T's, Erfield.
Okay.
And then my email address is just David Satterfield at kw.com. And then phone number is 614-327-1264. And Priyanka, when we get done today, I'm going to send you all my contact information and my appointment calendar that I mentioned before in an email, just so you'll have it available to you.
Sounds good.
Feel free
Yeah.
to add me into your phone or into your contacts, as well. So,
Sure. Yeah.
okay. And that should be the basics for now. We can always update that later if you want. Go ahead and create that one. And now you've got 2 contacts in there.
Yay.
All right. Woohoo. You're off and running. I do want to point out that now, do you have a contact list that you're going to be importing at some point in time, whether it's from your phone or from another email program? Or
I don't have anything right now, but
okay. I was literally going to tell you, go ahead and still click on the import option there, and it gives you this window. I don't know if you've used Microsoft Outlook or other email programs in the past. A lot of those, when you have a list of contacts in an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file, you can actually import those into the program, and you can do that into Command. But a lot of those programs have what's called an import wizard. And as you import those contacts, it'll say, do you want to match up, first name to first name field? Email address might be called just email in this one. Phone number could be primary phone number over here. And it kind of walks you through that process of kind of mapping out the contacts. Command, you can import the contacts, but it doesn't yet have the import wizard. That's something that they're working on. But what I'd like to do is go ahead and click on that import button again, if you would. And just in case, you end up downloading your contacts from your phone, or maybe some of your social contacts, that download option that's up there in green on the top left, if you go ahead and click on that, it will actually give you download a spreadsheet for you.
Okay.
Hopefully. Looks like it's doing the same thing the upload button did. It kind of turns the screen gray for a second.
Yeah.
Let's see. There it goes. Okay, I see it in the lower left there. Yep.
Yeah.
And if you open that up, it'll open up a spreadsheet. And so if you do end up with a list of contacts, what you'll need to do is just basically copy and paste each column over into the corresponding column from that downloaded CSV. So your first names, last names. Some databases have the name all in one field rather than first name and last name. They have them together, etc. And once you've got that copied and pasted over into the command version of that spreadsheet, then you could come in here and you can either drag and drop the file over, or you can just click on that and browse your files and upload it. And that would pull in all of your contacts into your database here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we can cancel that window out. Once you do build up your contacts as well, again, getting up into the hundreds or even thousands of those, it's going to be messy over here on the right-hand side to just scroll through contacts looking through somebody. So you do have a search field over there on the left, and then you've got a filter button next to that. And if you click on the filter button, you can filter it by a whole bunch of different ways, whether it's your contacts, I only want leads, whether it's a lead source you have, the branded to me, that'll actually show you everybody that's branded to your KW app if you want to send something out to them, etc. Do they have neighborhoods if you're looking to do a neighborhood nurture or a neighborhood information video, etc. So just different ways you can filter that out as well. Once you get contacts in, it'll change that view for you. I have people that have called me before that they'll email me or text me and they say, hey, a whole bunch of contacts are missing from my database. Can you help me out? And the very first thing I ask them is to go to this filter window or click on that button and make sure they click the clear all option down there on the lower left. It does leave it filtered. Yeah, and people do that all the time. It does leave it the way you had it filtered when you exit the program and get back in. So if you ever have that happen to you, just check that filter and see if it's still on or not.
Okay. Yeah.
All righty. So you can close that one down. And do you have any questions on contacts while we're in here?
No, David. This is straightforward. Yeah.
Okay. And you can, the other thing, just like the home screen that we were on, you can change the view on this. The current view that you're looking at is called a smart view. And if you pull down that menu that you're on right now, you can create a new smart view. And this just allows you to choose which columns that you actually want displayed. You can move them to the left or the right. Maybe you want the people that are buyers set up a certain way or sellers a certain way, or hey, I want all my pet lovers. I want the very first column to say like the owner name and then the pet's name, etc. So that can help you with your workflow as well. So not something you'll need right now, but just know that it's there in the future when you get contacts going. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so if we go over there to the third button, excuse me, gotta stay hydrated while I'm talking all day. These are all your different tasks, and it's basically your to-do list. It's kind of like Outlook, where you have the yellow, the sticky notes where you could go in there and create a list for yourself to do.
Mm.
And what it's doing right now is it's probably just looking at command, and it's trying to see what you've done or not done so far. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff, don't worry if it has tasks in there. It says past due. It's not past due. It's based on you. We actually, that's not true. It says add a contact, and we've actually added those. So
Yeah.
you can actually check that off if you'd like to.
Okay. And I just complete.
Yeah, and then you just say complete task. So that's a good practice for us.
Okay.
Okay. And then same thing, if you scroll up to the top, Priyanka, yeah, there's
Mm.
always an option over there for you to create a new task over in the right-hand side. And when you click on that, it gives you the option. What is the task name? When is it due by? What's the description? And is there a link associated with it? If whether it's a website or social media page or something like that, you can add those to
Mm.
those as well. So just a way to do kind of your to-do list. I know some of the guys call them honey-do lists. And in case the wife has some things for you to take care of around the house.
Yeah.
That would be the window that you actually go in and create. Have you never heard that before? The honey-do list?
No.
Okay. They always say that, honey, I need you to do something.
Oh, okay.
um, but that it's pretty basic. So that's your tasks. And you
Okay.
can associate this with a contact as well. That's the one thing I like to show on this one note down below. So if it's a
Mm.
task and maybe you want to say, okay, well, I met with Jamie so-and-so today. I want to follow up with her on Friday. You could set that task, but then you can associate it with a contact down below. When you click on that button, it's just going to have you go search for a contact and add them to this thing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that one we can close down. Task is pretty basic.
Yeah.
The next one over there on the navigation applets, excuse me, is your smart plans. I really love these smart plans. I think a lot of agents, oh, you can just close out on that. When you're
Okay.
first coming into command, a lot of time you're going to see these little help windows
Yeah.
pop up.
Sure. Yeah.
As we're going through them today, you can close them. But when you come in later on, maybe scroll through them and just kind of take a look at the different tips that they're throwing out for you.
Sure.
Smart plans basically are a way to help automate your workflow process. I always tell everybody, like, my job is to teach you the technology and help you with the technology to make you effective at your job. But if
Mm.
I can make you more efficient at your job, which basically, shave off minutes or even hours off of your work week, then I'm doing my job well, because you're able to do your job more efficiently and do more work with less time. And that's really what smart plans are all about. We'll have some training classes. We've got a bunch coming up here.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank
That's okay. Where we teach you how to create customized ones, and so we'll spend some time doing that in the future. But
you.
one
Okay.
thing I do want to show you, and this is brand new to KW, when we just did our big mega camp convention a couple of months ago. They do two big events every year: the mega camp and the family reunion. Has anybody talked to you about family reunion yet?
No, but I've seen emails about those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other big one. It's coming up in February, and
Okay.
that's where KW across the whole nation. Normally, they do it as an event at a place. So I believe Family Reunion is always down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Mega Camp would have been in Las Vegas.
Oh.
So unfortunately, we all missed out on a trip to Vegas, and they move that one around every year.
Oh.
So hopefully one day we'll get out of COVID and we'll all be able to
Yeah.
travel and actually have fun at these events again.
Yeah.
For now, they're doing them virtually. The advantage to that is a lot of people can actually attend that couldn't attend before, because now you just pay for the ticket for the admission. You don't have to pay the travel costs and the airplane and the hotel and rental cars and things like that. So it does make it more accessible.
Mm.
And I believe when we did our mega camp here a couple months ago, they literally had, I think it was 24,000, if I remember right, attendees on that, where normally as a live event, they would have like 8 to 10 to 12,000. So it almost doubled the
Right.
amount of attendees. So that's the positive to it anyways.
Okay. So is
Um,
it like a conference kind of a
yeah,
thing?
it's a huge conference. Yeah, and they have like Gary Keller will be there. They do forums for everybody. They do breakout sessions and all kinds of different topics.
Oh.
They have top agents from all over the nation or all over the world come together and kind of show you their success stories and what they're doing to help, their business go well. A lot of vendors there as well, if you're interested in different vendors or technology to show us, the latest and greatest stuff. So yeah, very cool event to go to.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
make sure I sign up for that then.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I think the office, we actually have discounted tickets for all of you agents.
Okay.
And this year, we're doing a kind of special. We actually rented out one of the local movie theaters. I think it's one or two of the screens. And I think it's 4 days long. So for two of the full days,
Mm.
we're going to go to the movie theater, and they'll have the social distance seating and everything. Still, it'll be kind of nice because we'll get to see it up on the big screen, and they'll have refreshments and food for everybody, which will be kind of nice, and just do it up as kind of a fun
Nice.
event since we can't actually go to the convention. So
Yeah, where can I get more information about this?
check with Angela, because we,
Mm.
we literally just had a meeting on that. Yeah, she's got all the
Okay,
info on that, and she can get you the dates and I think the link to get you signed up as well. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And that'd be a great way to like start off your real estate career. Like
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I
when
mean.
I joined KW from CB Richard Ellis, I came over, and literally like a month and a half later we had mega camp, and I couldn't have picked a better time to start. So
Yeah.
um
Nice.
sorry, I kind of got sidetracked there. But to get back to the smart plans, they just came out with this on our last mega camp, and if you click on the library option up there on the top, this is brand new, and it's cool because people that are going in and creating these smart plans, they basically set up a step-by-step automated process to do a lot of your follow-up items, if you want to think about it that way. Let's say, for example, Priyanka, you have an open house, and
Mm.
from that open house you had a sign-up list that you had, people sign up on. And then from that sign-up list, you want to make sure that hey, I want to pull these people in as contacts. I want to send a thank you letter, the very next day to everybody that came to the open house, and introduce myself. And maybe, 2, 3, 4 days later, I want to follow up with an email, excuse me, to see if they need any help in real estate area for their house search. And then maybe a couple days from that, even set up a phone call to touch base with them as well. So that's one example. That whole thing, that's what a smart plan is. You basically create that customized plan. You add delays in there, 1, 2, 3 days, however you want to. But if it does have to do with emails or social posts or even phone calls or even just giving you a reminder, that's what the smart plans do for you. So if you, let's see, if you scroll up to the top there, these are kind of the top ones in the company right now.
Mm.
You'll look and you'll see that they have rating scales on them,
Yeah.
from 1 to 5 star. I'm a big online shopper before COVID even hit. so
Okay.
my big thing, I love looking at, when I want to go check something, I'll look at Amazon reviews, or best being a tech
Right.
guy, Best Buy reviews, etc. So this will give you the reviews on a star basis. But also it's kind of nice because you can see how many agents have actually downloaded this. And if you look at that first one, the biweekly neighborhood nurture, it's actually one of the most popular ones. It's got
Hmm.
over 27,000 downloads already.
Right.
So the smart plans already were a great tool for saving you time by automating the process. The library has been kind of revolutionary because now everybody comes in here, and when they create a cool smart plan, they'll upload it to the library. And now, especially for you as a brand new agent, this is a great place to go and just spend an afternoon kind of poking through all the different smart plans and seeing which ones that you think might be good for you, and
Mm.
just downloading them into your smart plan library so that you automatically have them. Okay.
Yeah.
Another time saver, and that's why I like showing the library all the time. I do want to point out that the smart plans that you download from the library, you are not able to modify them. The only thing that you can change on them is the name. You can give them a personalized name, but as far as the steps go, you cannot delete from the steps that are there, and you cannot add to the steps that are already there. I've had a few people that have tried to do that and got frustrated, and so I always want to make sure that I point that out to everybody.
Okay.
And the reason I bring that up, again, it is a great time saver for finding all these great tools. But if you, let's say, going back to that open house example, let's say the agent that made the one that you downloaded only had a 1 day delay between an email and a phone call, and you'd say, hey, that's too soon. I don't want to bombard these people, and act like I'm a nuisance. I'd rather have a 3 day or a 4 day delay between that. It's still okay to download that, but then you just basically come in and create your own customized one, duplicate the steps that they had in there and leave them the same, but then you just add in your own delays and personalize it to yourself. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
So
Right.
it is easy to go ahead. It's easier, I should say, to go in there and create one when you've already got kind of a template for how they have it set up, and maybe you just want to change one or two things on it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So just to get a couple in your plan, let's go ahead and download that bi-weekly one there over on the left-hand side, that
Okay.
first one. And if you click on the Add Smart Plan, it's probably going to ask you, for the name. These do need to have a individual name. You can't have the same exact name for two smart plans.
Okay.
So because you have none of them in your library right now, you're good to go with, just downloading the
My,
default name.
okay.
But if you ever download one that has a mirrored name, or you go to name something that says the same thing,
Mm.
it will tell you, hey, you can't have duplicate names, and you just got to tweak the name a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So go
Yeah.
ahead and click on the download option, and it should give you the screen with a download. Some of these are actually made up of multiple smart plans that were put together. I think when you first came in the window, you might have clicked
Mm.
on one, and it came up, it looked like it had multiple download options in there. And that's because some of
Yeah.
these
Just.
were, they took one smart plan here that was, just like that one. Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
it's basically telling you, hey, this smart plan was made by putting a couple of smart plans together. So it'll just walk you through and
Okay.
make sure that you download both parts. But then when you go look
Yeah.
at it, it'll be combined in your library. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And as let's see, you can close that window down. If you scroll down,
Yeah.
you'll notice that you've got the top rated ones is the next
Mm-hmm.
list. This is literally goes by that star rating, so you can basically see what the most popular ones are. And then if you scroll down
Yeah.
below that, the next area is the what's new area. These are ones, I believe these are all within the last 2 to 4 weeks, within the last month. You can see, you can see on the dates there. It looks like all these are from January so far. You're
Oh
probably
yeah.
not going to see either any or a whole lot of stars on there because they are new.
Mm.
But this is a nice place to go to just kind of check out the latest and the greatest stuff that's coming out. I know in the library they already have some of these, but if you look over on the left, there's that my home anniversary. Somebody made a smart plan for that one. You can either
Yeah.
send a gift or call the person, or send an email, etc., to just wish them a happy home anniversary, which a lot of agents do. So this is a nice area to
Yeah.
come into. There's scroll buttons down below these. You can see all the dots and the navigation
Right.
arrows for going through these. Or in each
Mm-hmm.
section, up on the top right hand side, there's a see all option. And if you click on that, it'll actually take you to like
Well,
all of the what's new ones.
yeah.
So you can either scroll through the more popular ones, or if you just want to browse through them all, click the see all, and you'll be able to go and check them all out. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So good time saver there for you, and we'll definitely get into smart plans in more detail. Do you have any questions on those before we move on?
No. No.
Okay. So if you go to the next area over there on the navigation, you've got referrals.
Yeah.
Another way for you to be successful in your business, obviously, is buying, selling, leasing houses, or etc. The other thing is to start building a referral network up for yourself with other Keller Williams agents, or even other agents from different brokerage firms in other locations. So when you start getting contacts, this is the place you can always come in here, and if you click on the new referral button on the top right there,
Mm-hmm.
you can always go in here, and if you've got somebody's information, you can always come in here and to find an agent. There's buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords. You can change your search criteria for the referral fees, your acceptance deadlines. Could go anywhere. I think if you drag that over to the far left hand side, I think it says immediate or now. Yeah, 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like we need somebody now, basically, up to up to a few days. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one way to search for people, just a bunch of search criteria in there for you to go, and then it would populate with people that meet those criteria for you in whatever area you're looking in. There's something else I want to show you here, and then this was something I found that's really cool, and a lot of agents have appreciated this. Go ahead and cancel that window if you would, Priyanka.
Yeah.
And what I want to show you is go to the map option up there.
Okay.
And I show this especially, do you know you can filter by, oh yeah, just say got it. It's just giving you those tips again. Every place basically has migration patterns. If people are leaving Dublin, Ohio, or Columbus, Ohio, there are migration patterns to where they go to when they move. Okay. Same thing for if people are inbound to either Dublin or Columbus, they're coming from certain places. And there are places that have a higher density of people migrating to and from each area, no matter what location that you're in.
Mm.
So I always like to show this to agents. If you go ahead and click up there in the search map area, up on the top left, and let's just go ahead and plug in Dublin, Ohio, and it should pop up there on the search area. There you go.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a lot of agents. I'm going to probably say, I was going to say the high hundreds probably. So when you are in here and you're searching for an agent for a referral, maybe you have one of your clients and a prior client, they say, hey, we've loved Dublin for the last 10 years, but we're looking at moving down to Orlando, Florida. You might come in here and look for a referral in Orlando, Florida. And what I would tell everybody is try and drill this list down until you get an underneath like 100 or even 50 agents, probably even more so, to try and find one for you in that area. Okay. But the other thing that I want to point out is now that we've got Dublin, you see, we looked at Dublin for production. These are all your production agents. If you click on that little arrow to the right of where it says production,
Yeah.
it's going to give you a little menu and there's an option that says referral patterns.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on that. We might have to plug in Dublin again. Yeah, go ahead and put in Dublin again. Sorry. And this is going to show you what's called a referral pattern or a migration pattern. So what it's doing, if you look over on the right-hand side, you'll notice that these are away arrows. These are your outbound arrows. So it's people that are leaving Dublin, Ohio. These are the most common places that they're moving to. This is great background information for you to have as a referring agent because you guys get referral fees for your referrals. So it's great for you to, that's why family reunion is good with those breakout sessions and mega camp. You guys actually get to network some and meet a lot of other Keller Williams agents in different areas. So if you have family, friends, associates, or clients that say, hey, we're moving to Orlando, we're moving to Austin, Texas, you can still be the agent to refer them to somebody and not only obviously help out your client, help out another agent, but also get those referral fees for you as well. So if you look at the outbound stuff, we've got a lot of people going to Georgia. What is that, 3%? North Carolina, a lot of people going to Nevada, Florida, etc. So these are great places that you could look at to start meeting people. And even, we could even set up an email campaign by looking up these referrals, maybe grabbing those top 50 in that area, sending out an email to everybody and saying, hi, I'm Priyanka. I'm a brand new agent in Dublin, Ohio. I noticed that our outbound referrals are going, we've got a lot of those going out to Atlanta, Georgia. I'd love to be a resource for you guys if I have a client and start making those connections for your referrals. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the outbound patterns. If you look next to referral patterns, it's showing that little box with the up arrow. If you look at that, there's one next to it to the right with a down arrow. Go ahead and click on the other one, send and then received. Yeah, click on received.
Okay.
And it's going to shift those migration patterns. This is where everybody is coming to Dublin, Ohio from. So now if you look over there on the right, we're getting a lot of people from Texas, from Florida, Texas, Florida, Texas. A lot of, I'm thinking Texas and Florida are going to be some good places for you to make some referrals. Right. Or some agent contacts, etc. Yeah. But again, same thing, look up these people at some point in time, shoot out an email to them. You can even make a smart plan for that as more agents come in. You can set up what's called triggers as they identify themselves as an agent in Richardson, Texas. You can actually have an email go out to them automatically. Same type of thing that we said before. And again, this is a great way to increase your business. You refer people to other people and get those referral fees, but same thing when you've got people looking here, you can literally become their client. And that's a great relationship to have. Obviously, your database and your clients, that's your number one relationship, but a lot of people make a lot of money off of referrals. And that's a great way to take a look at where you want to start looking at making friends with people. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of the referral area. Again, it's like your contacts. As you make them and add them to the referral area, it'll build up. Your My Referrals area isn't going to have any yet, but as you make people and put them in that referral area, it's going to build up just like your contact database. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And these are all KW agents. Just by the way, I've had people ask me that as well. Yeah, if you have somebody from Coldwell Banker or one of the other places, they're not necessarily going to be in here, but you could always add them to your contact database and then use that custom tag and tag them as a referral. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So any questions on those?
No.
Okay. If we go down to the next area, this one looks like the shaking hands. This is called opportunities. Do you know if Angela set you up an appointment with Jennifer Vickers yet, Priyanka?
No, we're still waiting for her to correct her her calendar. There's
Her
some
calendar link? Okay.
yeah, yeah, there's an issue with her link. We weren't able to set
Okay.
an
Yeah,
appointment.
I know mine's been kind of buggy here too. I think their program is having issues.
Maybe, yeah.
uh, I did want to show you this, but I'm not going to go into too much detail here because this is a lot of what Jen is going to talk to you about.
Okay. Okay.
She's going to talk to you about your DocuSign and your paperwork, your signature paperwork, obviously all your due diligence paperwork. And then at some point in time, you're going to be importing that into Command, and opportunities is where you'll do that at. And you can see you've got 3 different areas over there. This is where you keep track of your listings, your buyers, your leases, etc. Each one of those areas has kind of 5 different sub areas under there. Let's see. Oh, if you scroll back up for a second, sorry. Yeah, you'll see the cultivate, the appointment, the active, the under contract, and close. Those are all the same, except for I think under leases, rather than if you scroll down a little, rather than under contract. Yeah, you've got pending, just because leases obviously are a little bit different there. So, so each one of those different areas, as you add your information here, assign a contact to the opportunity. What I tell everybody, we have almost 300 agents in our office. We're one of the largest offices in not just Columbus, but Central Ohio and the Ohio Valley region. So there's a lot of agents. We have a lot of people that do things differently. Some people, they're all on board Command. They put their contacts in, they add their opportunities, and they update them constantly as they're going through the process. We've got other, I never like to say old, but maybe more seasoned or veteran agents. And some of those people, basically, the only time they ever come into Command is when they have to do their paperwork and they want to get paid and they get their commission. So they'll come in here, and some of them literally will wait until the deal is done. And then they basically come in here and they play catch up on all of their paperwork and try and put through all the opportunity stuff. That's usually when Jen and I get a lot of phone calls. Spur of the moment is, hey, I'm trying to, do this deal for this week. Can you call me today? Sometimes we can, and sometimes, unfortunately, like yesterday, I had 7 Zoom calls in a row. I had no time for anybody yesterday. So, so what I do tell everybody, even if you're not, extremely precise and staying with it all the way through, try and do it to the best of your ability. Not just to keep track of the deals and everything, but the other thing is the more information that Command has. If you look over there on the right hand side, it's trying to build out your GCI in each of the different areas. You've got your potential income, your probable income. It's looking at the deals that you put in here, and it's not only telling you where you are financially, but it's trying to project ahead financially as well for you, based on when the house closes or when the house sells, et cetera, or when the lease is coming up on term. Okay. And that also goes back to that goals area, and also into our reports area as well, for you to set up goals for yourself and to be able to project out as well. The more accurate that your information here is, then the more, anytime you come into Command, it's going to have an accurate reflection of where your financial footprint basically is. Okay. If you're okay, some people are just okay, like flying by the seat of the pants, and, hey, I know I'm doing enough deals. I get a paycheck. I'm doing okay. If somebody's that way, great, more power to them. For a beginning agent, I would rather help train you guys to get into the good habit right from the get-go, of coming in here and kind of keeping up on your deals. And that just kind of sets the habit right from the get-go for you.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And like I said, Jen will be coming in, and you'll be doing more on this when you guys go through your talk with your DocuSign paperwork.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
If you go over there to the next applet there, it looks like a little megaphone. That's your campaigns area. This is where you can both create and launch a whole bunch of your different campaigns within Command. I mentioned it's not just for databases. Now we can do email campaigns. We can do direct mail campaigns. I guarantee you my office is right outside of our print room. And we have agents in here that love doing old school methods. and they're printing out flyers, they're printing out, their little door hangers, etc.,
Oh, okay.
making newsletters, things like that. Christmas, it was crazy out there. I think people were almost literally fighting for the multiple printers to get in here and get their stuff made up.
Mm,
But also your social posts as well.
yeah.
And the campaigns are kind of nice. This home screen, this little dashboard here is kind of nice because Keller Williams, every week they're adding a brand new something to this campaign area. I've got a lot of people that, again, having almost 300 agents, we run the gamut of people that either love social media, they were raised on it. I do it all the time personally. It's no big deal for me to do it professionally. To
Mm,
people that are more seasoned or veterans, and they're like, hey, I've never really done social media. Why should I do it? Or, hey, I've never done it before. Can you teach me social media now from the ground up, kind of thing? So if you're ever struggling for ideas to post, they've actually got templates down here. If you look down on that quick post area, the first one over on the left is one that's called the neighborhood video. That's the one I mentioned where you can assign that to a specific neighborhood,
mm.
not just the suburb or the city name, but that literally like the Hilliard Rome area, like I mentioned, close to where I live, and plug in that information, and it'll literally create a video for you, which you could either automatically post to social media, or you could schedule to post to social media. Or if you were wanting to put it on LinkedIn, a lot of people love doing LinkedIn because that's where you do all your professional stuff.
Mm.
You can download the videos as well, since command only goes to Facebook and Twitter for now.
Okay.
They are looking at expanding that. Oh, by the way, I know Instagram is on the way, because Instagram is all photos. And of course, being in real
Right.
estate, everybody's got great home photos.
Yeah.
I know my wife and I just looked at a house, and the reason we loved it is I love the outdoors and the decks and the barbecue things and the fire pits and whatnot. And these guys had some amazing photos.
Right.
So Instagram is coming, and I believe they're looking at a LinkedIn attachment in here as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
those are kind of the campaigns. They call them quick posts. They just create them for you. You just go in and kind of personalize it to yourself a little bit, and then either immediately post it or schedule it to be posted for yourself. But again, it saves you a little bit of time. You don't have to come up with a social media calendar in your head. Oh, I wonder when I'm going to post this Tuesday, other than Taco Tuesday or Throwback Thursday. That
Yeah.
everybody else does.
Yeah.
Um, so a great way to come in and get ideas. Of course, you can always personalize those. If you scroll down a little bit, you've got some tips and training by KWU. That's Keller Williams University. This will link off to some of the training videos. You
Yeah.
can see how to create a paid ad, how to create and manage your social posts, etc. It only gives you 2 or 3 here, but you can always click on that see more button over on the right hand side, and
Yeah.
it'll take you to see more. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and if you go up and you click on the option up on the upper right, the create a new campaign,
Uh-huh.
we just take a peek of this screen. You can see that it'll allow you to choose. Do you want to do an ad? Do you want to do a Google ad? Do you want to do a social post, direct mail, email, etc.?
Mm.
That's from the dashboard window. Or if you close that down, you could go to either of the individual areas up at the top where it says dashboard, paid ads, emails,
Okay.
direct mail, etc. Either way. So if you're on the dashboard, you don't necessarily have to click on emails to do an email campaign. Oh, and this is a great thing that you click on. This is your social post.
Yeah.
This is where you can come in and create that automated social media calendar that I mentioned. We have a class coming up on this that I love teaching, because we've got a lot of people that are embracing social media right now.
Mm. Right. Yeah.
And this is a great way to do it. Have you looked at Keller Williams Connect yet, Priyanka?
No. Not yet.
Okay, that's where they corporate puts out like a lot of their marketing materials, and every week they have a brand new theme. And what I always tell our agents is, if you either don't have a social media plan yet, that doesn't mean don't do it. Or if you have a hard time coming up with ideas, there's 365 days in the year to keep a good consistent calendar. At a minimum, maybe on the weekend, like I mentioned before, because they put them out the week in advance. Go to the Connect website for Keller Williams, and they put out what they call social media kits. And it
Mm.
has all 5 graphics for Monday through Friday, and it already has the text for the post that's in there as well. So you take those, you download that kit with the graphics and the text, you come into this calendar right where you're at, and you just click on those little option that says create a social post, and you
Mm-hmm.
plug that information in right there.
Okay.
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 Yeah, we're not connected to your Facebook
Right.
account yet,
Yeah.
but as soon as we do that, you'll be able to do that.
Okay.
And so you copy and paste from the corporate one, upload the graphic that's in there, schedule it. You can see you can schedule Sunday through
Yeah.
Saturday, whatever days you want to put on there, either on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, to space them out a little bit, and boom, you're done with your social media for the week or 2 weeks or even a month, depending on how much time you spend. But that way, you've got at least 5 posts minimum. I always tell everybody, if you don't have 5 posts on there, you're not doing enough, because they give them to you.
5 posts every week, you mean?
And 5 posts every week, because
Okay.
corporate just gives them to you to do. And literally, once you go through the class on like how to do this, you'll be
Uh-huh.
surprised that literally one of those posts probably takes 3 minutes. So
Oh,
literally, for all 5 posts for a week, you'll be done with this thing in 15 to 20 minutes, and you'll have an entire week's worth of social media going out.
mm,
Okay, which is kind of nice.
yeah.
And so these will be things like, they do the bet, hashtag bet on red. They've got, after Mega Camp came out, there were some really big success stories about
Mhm,
how agents were pulling in lead generations for like $1.58 or $1.68 per lead, which is ridiculously low
mm,
for that. Family Reunion is coming out, so I'm sure, like, I'm surprised, probably now or next week we're probably going to start seeing some family reunion stuff, because
mm,
that's another way for you to prospect people to come in and check out Keller Williams, is too. Obviously, with our profit sharing, that's a whole nother income path that you can do as well. If you
okay.
end up having friends or family or coworkers that, associates that come in to be agents as well. So,
Okay.
but that's a campaign area. I love this. This is one of my favorite areas to teach classes on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have, just so you know, I'm going to be posting this to our Facebook page here soon.
Okay.
But tomorrow we're doing email campaigns in Command. So that's our first class in our new series. Next week, we're going to be doing an open house landing page, which will go hand in hand with your agent pages as well. And then the week after that, we're going to be creating the Keller Williams Buyer's Guide and customizing that. So a whole bunch of classes coming up here. We've got February laid out too. Those are
Okay.
all going to be on Wednesday afternoons for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. But you can always set up one-on-ones with me. If that doesn't meet your schedule, or you've got an appointment or a showing or a listing or something you got to work with, and you can always set up some one-on-one time as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the next applet over there on the navigation side is your reports. Great place to come. And again, once you actually get your listings in here in your database, you can come in here and start, running reports.
Mm,
You can see your financials. We've already kind of seen snippets of those in each of
yeah.
the different areas.
Yeah.
But whether it's, your current financial situation, what your goals are for the year, how you're doing, what your contact database health score is, you can see the different 6 areas that it looks at down there in your contact database,
Mm,
et cetera. So this is a great place to go, kind of get a snapshot of, hey, here's where I'm at, and based on my goals, here's where I want to be, and kind of what I got to do in between to get there. So,
okay.
okay. The next area looks like the paintbrush. That's our design. Another favorite area of mine. Having a graphics background, this is one thing I love doing. Again, this is where you can come in and you can design all the graphics for your email campaigns, your landing page. A landing page is different than your agent site. Your agent site is your actual realtor web page, but then
Mm-hmm.
you can create what's called a landing page, and it's like a standalone web page or a standalone URL. And some of the examples of why people might want to do that, you could have a brand new listing and you just want a standalone page that says, just listed or even coming soon. We have people, like I mentioned before, that do an open house landing page so
Mm-hmm.
that they can have a sign-in sheet for people to capture those contacts immediately into Command. We've
Okay.
had people that have set up a client testimonial page where once you've done a deal and you know that your client is happy, that you've taken care of them and helped them buy their first house or however many houses, you can have them send them that link and they can do a client testimonial, and it immediately captures that information for you in Command, and you can then set it to either just stay there and you can do stuff with it later, or it'll automatically go onto your agent site as your latest and greatest client testimonial, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
Also, your social media posts, creating graphics for that, your print campaigns, your agent sites, and video is fairly new. They just added that in there last month, which is a nice touch. I know if you hear their names, Bob and Lorraine Hetherington is one of our top teams in the office here. Lorraine loves doing Facebook videos for their agent site, for their team page. And she does them just very short, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes on the video, but she literally does one every day. And it's kind of like a HGTV. They teach you like, here's how you can, organize your closet. Here's how
Oh,
you can,
okay.
upgrade your kitchen. Here's how to fix a basic plumbing thing. So it's kind of cool. They're doing some great stuff in video. And video, if you have a chance to do it, is great content right now. Obviously,
Right.
YouTube has been around for years. Vimeo is very popular now.
Mm.
TikTok, has taken off, and of course, it's popular. Businesses are trying to learn how to capitalize on that as well.
Okay.
But that's the design area, and again, we'll spend some one-on-one time on that and some classes as well. Down below that, the little sign, that's just your listings. This just organizes all your listings that you have once you get them in here and start putting them into your opportunities. Rather than seeing them in a timeline for opportunities, this is where you can just go and just look at all the listing information, the property information that you or your future team could have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last area there, it's called consumer. I don't know why they call it consumer. It's all your web pages. I guess it's kind of like the KW app. They say it's consumer facing. So I would prefer they just called it web stuff, but that's me.
Okay.
But once we come in here and we get a chance to help you set up your agent site, your landing pages, this is where they'll all show up in a nice organized area. And there's some settings that you can change on those or go into like the site and app settings. We don't have one now, but you could go in there and change some of the settings on those pages. The other areas that we saw were kind of the areas that you design them in. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So that is kind of the basics of command in a nutshell.
Uh,
Do you have any questions on anything we covered or?
um, I don't have anything as of now, but I'll play around with the command and see if I
Okay.
have any questions. If I
Yeah, and it can be kind of daunting or even overwhelming at first when you first get in. That's why when I do this initial one, I kind of want to touch base. If we dove into one area too much, right from the get-go, I've had people say it's like putting your mouth on a fire hose and trying to catch all the water.
right.
And I don't want to drown anybody when you first started. You'll be drowning, maybe later on, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as we get off here, Priyanka, like I said, I'll send you my contact information. I'll send you my calendar link.
Sure.
Anytime that I have on my calendar, I am, totally available for you guys. That's what I'm here for. So feel free to use me, whether it's questions, whether, you run into a technical problem. We can be the first line of resource for you to try and figure out what's going on rather than immediately having to go and, escalate that to the KW help desk.
Okay.
But also if there's just like one area and just say, hey, I'm ready to do my agent site. Can you help me go ahead and walk through that and get it set up? Absolutely. That's what we're here for. So,
Sure.
okay.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah, you're welcome very much. Well, welcome again to the team. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Look forward to one of these days meeting you in person. Hopefully
Yeah.
when, things aren't so crazy with the whole pandemic.
I
So,
know. Yeah.
but yeah, when I send that to you, like I said, feel free to reach out to me anytime, whether it's email, phone, or send me a text or anything like that. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Priyanka. You have a great week. Okay.
You too. Thanks.
All right. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.